This reporter, Sam Melton, White Eagle, I'm back with you. We have another Just Say No's news update. Today we want to focus.
You are watching and listening to the Electronic Intifada. I am John Elmer. This is the Resistance Report for day 839 of Israel's genocide, day 105 of this fraud ceasefire. Just throw up a quick graphic here before I get into the martyr statements. There's a graphic from Hamas here that they released marking 100 days. And of course, everyone who's been listening to the show up till now knows that these numbers are out of date as soon as they're published, because this is an ongoing situation. Ahmed just reported on 15 more Palestinians killed in Gaza, including 3 journalists. Hamas here notes 1,298 violations, 428 direct fire at civilians, 66 incursions into civilian neighborhoods, 604 bombing and shelling of civilian homes, and 483 killed, 1,294 wounded. Again, those numbers are now out of date, but Hamas remarks that the international silence encourages the continuation of the violations and complicates the chance of establishing any future agreement, which, as a one statement précis, really summarizes where we're at, because I don't know how there can be future agreements with this state that just ignores entirely the deal that they agreed upon. And in this statement, Hamas said that despite the conditions for which the occupation bears full responsibility for creating, the movement succeeded in locating 27 of the 28 bodies of the captives and continues to search for the final body in coordination with the mediators and the International Committee of the Red Cross, achieving the results that exceeded expectations and were the product of sincere and continuous efforts. And just on the targeting of civilians, of the 483 martyrs, which again is now out of date, 169 are children, representing 35% are children. So again, that's a consistent trend throughout Israel's military campaigns. It's always children. The number of injured, 1,294. Again, it's mostly children, 428 children, 33% are children. 10 are resistance fighters. So that is just an update on the ceasefire as it stands now on day 105 of the fraud. Okay, let's take a look at video number 2. This is Mahdi Jaber Kawara. He was commander of the Qassam Brigade's Southern Battalion of the Khan Yunis Brigade. The Osama bin Zayed is the name of the battalion, named after an expeditionary commander and a companion of the Prophet, something that we're seeing here. We're seeing Mahdi Kawara was born 1977, died in May 2025 at 47 years of age. He was assassinated alongside Qassam Chief of Staff Mohammed Sinwar and Rafa Brigade Commander Mohammed Shabana in Khan Yunis, in a Khan Yunis tunnel in May of last year. I'll get to those details shortly. What we're looking at right now is footage of Kawara in a tunnel, inspecting the tunnels, meeting with soldiers, just footage that you never otherwise would see. And these martyr videos are peppered with these really incredible historic footage that we see here. We're seeing him there in a training session here. We see him addressing troops. Um, Kawara was before becoming the Southern Battalion chief in the Qassam Brigades, Khan Yunis Brigade. He was a he was in the weapons manufacturing. His trajectory follows Qassam in many ways. He was a weapons manufacturing department operative. He was an operative within the Nukba force. There's footage right there of Abu Ubaidah at a meeting. We'll get to that footage after, so we can focus on it. Kawara was the Nukba commander of the Nukba battalion of the Khan Yunis Brigade. There we see him with Rafa Salama, who is a top Qassam operative, really close to Dave. There he is there, again in meetings with troops. We don't see this, back 20 years ago, Qassam used to do interviews with media, and they used to wear keffiyehs and covered their faces, but you knew who they were. And they were hit with an assassination shortly after a really famous Al Jazeera documentary in 2006, and they stopped doing that for the most part, almost entirely. And so this footage is just really remarkable historic footage to see the inside of this leadership. And you can see in all of these clips, he's addressing troops, he's addressing his fighters. He was a trainer and establisher of the Nukba force. That's the elite special forces battalion. You see him in a tunnel, you see him meeting with other commanders here, handing out and signing documents for fighters. And he spoke in a couple of these. In this clip, he says that this path, he's speaking to soldiers here. He says, this path requires steadfastness. This path, even if it is difficult, requires men of character, strength, and determination, and the courage of Qassam soldiers. It's a difficult path, a path of thorns, but we are certain of victory, certain of liberation. And then he quotes from the Quran, they see it as distant, we see it as near. The Khan Yunis Brigade has 6 battalions, and he was the commander of the Southern Battalion. There's also a Nukba battalion within each of the brigades. There's a Rafa Brigade, a Khan Yunis Brigade, a Central Camps Brigade, Gaza City Brigade, and then there's Northern Gaza Brigade, which includes the Jabalia Camp and Beit Hanun and Beit Lahia. Here you see a meeting with a field commander in a tunnel. Again, just remarkable footage that each of these videos have. So far, Qassam has released 21 videos of fallen fighters from commanders. This is the most senior commander. There you see him testing fuses because he was in the military manufacturing department. He's checking fuses for the Shawad explosively formed penetrator. In this clip, he just talks repeatedly to his soldiers, talking about steadfastness, talking about determination, talking about the character that it makes, that is required to be a Qassam fighter, and the importance of fighting, the importance of the national liberation struggle in all of these clips. There you see him as a younger man, all out in the community. Again, these fighters are in the community. They're known in the community. And in this one, he's speaking. This is a message he says to our Zionist enemy. We are a people of struggle, he's saying here, a people of resistance, a nation of fighters. Your planes will not intimidate us. Your tanks will not intimidate us. We are steadfast on this path to liberation on our land until we raise the banner over the blessed Al-Aqsa Mosque. This hour of victory, he says, will not come except while we are soldiers in the Qassam army. In other words, nobody is handing over a state. That's never happened before. It comes out of the project of resistance. So just a very interesting footage there of Mahdi Kawara. And this next video, you can see this is the clip with Abu Ubaidah here, number 3. Hudayfa al-Khalut, as we know now. Here he is speaking side by side with Kawara, addressing an event. I mean, this footage is new. All this footage is new. We don't see this type of footage at all of these commanders alive. And with Abu Ubaidah, we did not know, the public didn't know him except for under his kafia. These martyr videos are a remarkable moment in history of the Palestinian struggle, and the war pulled back the curtain on 2 decades of preparation and secrecy. So seeing this footage after seeing the October 7th operation and the 2-year defense of Gaza against Israel's genocidal war is a revealing of a program that was known in parts. We knew parts of this, and we knew it was happening in some ways, but we didn't know the totality of it until the operation of October 7th, and then the ability of the Qassam brigades to fight for 2 years, to never run out of weaponry, never run out of fighters, never surrender, never leave, never leave the Mount of Archers, as they say. They never left their positions. They fought in territorial defense all through the 2-year war, right up till the last moment. And Khan Yunis, of course, was the center of that. In a lot of ways, Khan Yunis is the center of gravity of the Qassam program over the past 2 decades. Of course, the Sinwar brothers are from Khan Yunis. Mohammed al-Daif was their friend from school. And in the south, because of and Rafah was an important brigade as well, because of the tunnel trade into Egypt that ran until the mid 2010s. And so in the earlier stages of Qassam, the south was very much the center of gravity. And it's just interesting to note this photo when you see this photo, because it's not clear how many in Qassam's ranks knew who Abu Ubaidah was. So when you see him addressing troops like this, it's unclear the size or who is in these meetings. But it was interesting because it brought to mind, to me, Imad Mughniya, who was Hezbollah's most important commander, architect of the development of Hezbollah's program. He was assassinated in Damascus in 2008, and videos like this, like what we're seeing, were released of him. Of Mughniya, there was no picture of him after early 1980s, like 1983 was all the FBI was using for their manhunt for him. So it's a little bit different because Hudayfa al-Khulut's picture was released by Israel during the 2014 war, but still it's unclear how many people knew who he was. Gaza is, of course, a small and deeply interconnected place. It's a little bit different than the Mughniya situation. But after Mughniya, these videos of Mughniya were shown, Hezbollah fighters said, "Oh, I know him. He was in this meeting and that meeting." They all knew him. They just didn't know that that was him. So I wonder to what degree that's happening with Hudayfa al-Khalut, who we see here with Mahdi Kawara. So let's talk a little bit about the assassination. If the next slide is number 5, I think here, yeah, you can see the assassination that was targeting Mohammed Sinwar, Mohammed Shabana. It was targeting Mohammed Sinwar, who was the chief of staff at that time before the assassination of Mohammed al-Daif. He was operations chief, and before that, he was Khan Yunis brigade chief. But you can see what the assassination was. This is in the neighborhood of the European Gaza Hospital, and Israel made a big deal about this tunnel being under the hospital, but it was not. It was not a command center in a hospital. It was a massive tunnel network that ran underneath this area in South Khan Yunis, which is the area of responsibility for Kawara's battalion. And you can see Israel. This was 50 bunker busters dropped in a 30-second span. All around, very similar to the Nasrallah assassination. And the goal of the strike was to penetrate down into the tunnel system, and essentially the explosions in the tunnels suck the oxygen out of the tunnels and suffocate anyone that was in the tunnels. And so 50 munitions in 30 seconds is the most significant strike on Gaza throughout the war, using bunker busters. And for the next 2 days, Israel stayed on top of this area and struck with fire belts anyone that came and attempt to go near any of these tunnels. And again, about the European hospital, it's not a command center in the hospital. It's a tunnel that runs through the entire neighborhood. And these strikes were as far as 800 meters away from the hospital because of the tunnel network. The tunnel runs underneath every part of the city. As we know, it's a spider web that the Israelis now think is 1,000 kilometers of tunnels. But Israel used it as a propaganda tool to justify their destruction of every hospital in Gaza. But again, another fraud that they perpetuated, saying that this was a command center under a hospital, although they struck all around the hospital and killed as many as 48 people in that strike, wounding 70. If we go to the next slide, you can see what it looks like sucking a bus here into a sinkhole, and that these strikes were all over the neighborhood. And this photograph is taken by Moaz Abu Taha, and Moaz Abu Taha was a photographer who was killed shortly after. He was killed in the Nasser hospital double tap strike that killed multiple journalists, killed 4 other journalists. Hassam al-Masri, it was a Reuters reporter. He was killed in the initial strike on Nasser Hospital. Mariam Abu Daqqa from the Associated Press was a fixture at Nasser Hospital. Mohammed Salama was an Al Jazeera journalist, and Ahmed Abu Aziz and Moaz Abu Taha were AFP photographers. So this photo was taken by the late Moaz Abu Taha. We can look on the next slide as well. You can see they just poked through the neighborhood. Some places they knew where the tunnel was, some places they didn't. But the key to this operation, I don't think this is a leap at all to say, this operation was executed 24 hours after the Qassam brigades released the U.S. soldier, the lone soldier who was fighting in Gaza when he was captured on October 7th from a base across from Khan Yunis, Aidan Alexander. And this was on May the 12th. Qassam released him as a gesture of and as part of a deal with Witkoff to open the borders, because this was the prime period of the starvation tactic in Gaza. And essentially what happened was, you can imagine that the process of authorizing the release of this soldier, this captured soldier, required the highest level approval and discussion. And in the moment of the war, at that stage of the war, to have that kind of information, to know that that Israel and the U.S. was sending a message, that the U.S. was sending a message to Qassam, talking about releasing the soldier, and within 24 hours of that, the place where the commanders were was targeted. So it's not a leap to say that that handover process of that soldier led to this assassination. And of course, immediately after the release of the soldier, Witkoff gave the soldier a Star of David necklace. And then Witkoff went on TV and said that essentially that they had reneged on the deal to open the border, and Israel had no intention of opening the border. And in the next slide, you could see this is the martyr poster of Mohammed Sinwar. This is the younger brother of Yahya Sinwar. He was one of the few commanders in Qassam of this generation who stayed free for his entire military career. He shared the counterintelligence gene from his brother. He was the architect of the tunnel project, but also the tunnel raids, where in 2006 he led the raid that captured Israeli tank gunner Gilad Shalit, and then set up the Shadow Unit, which is the unit that looks after captives, and kept the Israeli soldier Shalit captive for 5 years, kept him safe, and ultimately exchanged him for 1,027 Palestinian fighters, including Yahya Sinwar, which completely changed the trajectory of the armed struggle. Mohammed Sinwar was Khan Yunis Brigade chief after the Second Intifada. He became the operations chief, and after the assassination of Mohammed al-Deif and Rafi Salama in the summer of 2024, Sinwar became the chief of staff of the Qassam brigades. And the next poster is Mohammed Shabana. He was a commander of the Rafah brigade and a senior figure within the movement. He was a key figure in establishing the military media department for years. That was ultimately led by Abu Ubaidah Hudayfa al-Khalut. And he was the commander of the Rafah brigade, involved in many of the operations in the Rafah area. Like I said, it was a key area, a key center of gravity was in the south. And so the assassination of Sinwar, Shabana, and Mahdi Kouara was a costly strike, no question about it. A lot of institutional knowledge in these three figures, but showing the videos, and we'll continue to go through the videos and try to find important historical parts to report on. But this has been the Resistance Report for day 839 of Israel's genocide in Gaza.
Thank you so much, John. I remember that photo of the bus, just sticking out of the ground after Israel bombed relentlessly around it, and I mean, just and that was I mean, it feels like decades ago at this point. How long ago was that? A
It was
year?
in last May.
Last May, yeah.
Last May. It was just at the beginning of the Gideon's chariots when Israel had returned to war. And it's basically a certainty that the release of that Israeli-American soldier was what led to that.
Right.
Because there has to be meetings to discuss releasing him.
Right.
Israel and the U.S. is able to then zero in on those areas and see what is different in the monitoring signals intelligence, and you can see where those differences are. And so they struck that tunnel, and they showed that tunnel. I didn't show it. You've seen what the tunnels look like. But these men who are the senior most commanders, in some ways the most important commanders in the organization, and they're living on a mattress in a room with a bottle of water and a can of Spam. They lived and ate what their people ate, and their bodies, they were suffocated so you could see where they were in these rooms. They're not I mean, the tunnel system is brilliant, but it's not fancy. These guys were living, really difficult lives in those tunnels. And it just shows you, like the most important leaders are fighting in the same trench as their people. And nothing really shows that more than when you see where they were, the top commanders in a tiny little room with 3 mattresses on the ground, a captured Israeli weapon, but just very austere, just like their people were living at the time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. It's really interesting that now, all of these video testimonials and, kind of like these mini histories are coming out about these commanders and these significant military leaders. And yeah, it's, someone should write a book about it at some point.
It's important history to document, and who will do it? So we are here to record the history, whatever it is. People can like it, they can hate it. We report, you decide.
Today I'm in the West Bank, Palestine, speaking to illegal Israeli settlers and local Palestinians to try and understand what's actually happening here.
There is a big future for them in you. I don't believe in peace.
99% you die, and 1% you jump.
This is one of the most complicated and controversial places on Earth. A place where 2 people can live a few kilometers apart, but under completely different realities. And to understand why, you have to understand the map. In the 1990s, Israel and the Palestinians signed the Oslo Accords, a peace deal that split the West Bank into 3 zones. Area A, the big Palestinian cities like Ramallah and Nablus, run by the Palestinian Authority, and Israeli citizens are not allowed in. Area B are the towns and villages. Palestinians run daily life, but Israel controls the security. And Area C is everything else. Over 60% of the West Bank, which is fully controlled by Israel. This is where the settlements are, where the checkpoints are, and where Palestinians need Israeli permits to build so much as a house. Before I go and meet anyone, you need to know what the numbers actually say, because they are worse than I thought. Last year, the UN recorded around 1,800 settler attacks on Palestinians in the West Bank, the highest number since they started counting 20 years ago. Roughly 5 attacks a day, every day. Over 230 Palestinians were killed in the West Bank last year by Israeli forces and settlers, compared to 12 Israelis were killed in Palestinian attacks on settlers in the same year. And while all that was happening, the settlements weren't shrinking. They were growing faster than at any point in history. 54 settlements were approved in a single year. The previous record was 9. 86 new outposts, which are illegal even under Israeli law. Nearly 28,000 new homes were pushed through planning. It was supposed to be temporary, 5 years and then a final deal. That was almost 30 years ago, and the Israelis have pretty much completely ignored the Oslo Accords. So, those are the numbers. But I still want to know who these people actually are. In this video, I'm going to hear from both sides, not politicians, not headlines. We're going to be showing real people living inside one of the most disputed places on Earth. Good morning, everyone. I am going to an Israeli settlement in the West Bank today. I'm a little bit nervous. I've arranged to meet up with a famous influencer who is also a settler, and she's going to talk to me and give me some answers, and let's just find out. I have no idea what to expect. Yalla.
One checkpoint.
Could you tell me a bit about your story, how you came to live around here?
I born in really religious people,
Mm-hmm.
religious family, like very orthodox. I found myself in here because I see that there is a lot of ways to work God. I believe in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love Israel. I really love the country. I want like everyone to learn, even the Israeli people, that in here in Samaria, in Judea, there is
And how?
very beautiful and quiet place. And I think that everyone needs to come here and to learn about the conflict between us. Because when you hear and when you see it, you can learn more.
How long? When did you move here?
I moved here after the 7th October.
Ah. And have you experienced any issues since you've been here? No issues. Has been pretty safe. Do you feel safe?
It's very safe.
So you're here. This is the closest Palestinian community.
Yeah, it's called Deir Balut.
This is Tel Aviv in the background. Do you have any interactions? Would you ever go there?
No, they don't like us, okay? But
They don't like you.
yeah.
Interesting. Wow, this is crazy. Crazy fascinating. What do you, in 100 or when we've all died, 200, 300 years, what do you foresee this land looking like?
We taken sovereignty of an entire land, and the Palestinians want to live in their own cities. Okay, like
Here, still?
what? Yeah, I want to live in peace. I don't hate non-Palestinians. When the other side understand that we not gonna be, we're gonna stay here, they understand how to live with us.
I see.
So this is the meaning of to live here. And we found we Jewish. We found the way how to make things happen. And the majority of the Jewish not hate the Palestinians. They want to live peace. But the majority of the Palestinians hate Jewish and doesn't want to live in peace. So this is the reality. This is the conflict.
It's complex. So guys, I've come to an informal farm here that's been set up to stop the Palestinian community from kind of connecting. There's a Palestinian community, you can see the last house just there, and then on this side there's another Palestinian community, and they've put this right in the middle strategically to stop these two settlements from connecting and growing. and under Israeli law, this is actually illegal, and obviously under international law, I mean, everything in the West Bank is illegal under international law. As you can see, we've got some animals, some goats. This barn was actually promised to the goats 3,000 years ago. Could you imagine a life where you make friends with a Palestinian?
No, I don't trust them. After the 7th October, I don't think that I trust them at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I can't be friends with someone that learn their children every morning.
But do you not think that
to kill mine?
But do you not think that that's a bit of a generalization, because there's the Gaza Strip, that Hamas is different to the.
It's the same Hamas.
So you think
the
everyone's
Hamas of Samaria, it's the same Hamas of Gaza. The same people.
Yeah, but so you think that every Palestinian in the West Bank is Hamas?
No, I don't think. But I know that
But you don't know.
they all don't want us to be here. Okay, that's something I can be sure about.
What would you say to someone who would say that all of these settlements, the Israeli settlements, are illegal under international law?
That they need to come here and to see it. Because Gaza, it's a small strip, but Judea and Samaria, I showed you before, it's like very big place in the middle of the earth. And I think that every army that you will ask them, if there is a war, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? A tragedy, they will tell you on the mountains. And this is the mountains of the middle of the country. So what do you think will be here? It will be like the same. It will be a terror place. They can like throw rockets from here to Tel Aviv. You see how close it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have like the second Gaza, bigger in 6 times in the middle of the earth. Okay, so what do you think we need to do?
Okay.
We don't believe in peace, okay?
You don't?
I don't believe in peace.
Why?
I don't believe. I want it, okay? I very hope to be in peace, but I don't think it will happen because they want to kill us. If you educate your kids to kill me, I don't believe in peace. Because I believe in kids, I believe in I think the youngest people, they are
The future.
Yeah. And I'm very sorry for this. I really want to live with them in peace, but I don't believe they will do it. They want all the land from the river to the sea. They don't like us. In the Quran, in their Torah, they said that every Jew, you need to cut their head.
It says that in the Quran.
Yeah, it said that in the Quran. So, okay, if this is your religion and that's what you want to say to your kids, and you don't want to live under Israeli sovereignty, so I don't think it will be peace. You need to change something. You need to bring something to the table if you want peace, okay? So say, we will not tell our kids to kill yours, okay, at first. And then we can start. I think the Israelis more they have like more open mind of Palestinians that they have on us.
Okay. Let's go back to, so for some people who don't know anything about the history or like the religion, so what's the Jewish claim to this land? Like, why do you claim this land?
Why do we claim? Because in the Torah they said that Abraham got this country. He was in Shechem. Shechem, it's very close. It's Nablus in English. It's very close to here. It's in Judea and Samaria. We have a proof that we were here. Archaeology, okay? Scientists, they said 2,500 years ago. So you can see the proofs that.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who said, if they said that their book also said that they had claimed?
This is the conflict that we have with them. I don't know. We cannot live together, okay? We could live together, but they choose other. And if it's me or you, so it's me. If it's the Jews or the Palestinians, it's us. If you want to live with us in peace, okay. There is a lot of Christian here and a lot of communities that live here, even in Samaria and Judea, and we live in peace. We respect each other. We come to holidays of theirs, we come to their holidays, and they come to ours, and we have a very respectful. But the Palestinians choose others, and they say it's me or you. So if it's me or you, it's me. I know that there is a price, but I know that if I will not be here, the price will be like very expensive, more expensive than from now.
So you're putting your country and your religion above yourself.
Yeah, of course. I think the Jews do
Your country
it like
also.
all the time. Yeah.
Your country and your religion are interlinked, would you say?
Yeah. It's to live here. It's a price in all Israel, not just Judea and Samaria. Maybe it's here. It's like more, but in all Israel, when you live here, you know you need to pay the price. You know, all of the people in 18 years old, they go to the army. You have to, because you have to defend yourself. You have to defend yourself because you live like between enemies all around you, and they proved before that they will do anything to get you out, like they did in 7 October.
I feel like most people were for a two-state solution pre-October 7th, and now post it's like 70%.
They tell you this in Tel Aviv?
They said 70% believe in.
I'm very proud.
And what about you? Obviously, one-state solution only.
I want them to know that there is a big future for them in you. I want them to live right. I want them to live. They will have a future, and they will learn, and they will study, and I want them this. But I don't know. They keep voting to the Palestinian Authority and Hamas in this. I don't know you call the West Bank. In this road, there is Palestinians that
throw rocks.
Yeah. So
you think there's more attacks on Israelis?
I know that there is more attacks on Israelis. I know it.
I think when I searched online that it was more Palestinian attacks on Palestinians. Would you condemn the Israeli violent settlers?
It's a small group, but we are not with them, okay? We said that we are not with violence. This is not our way. This is not the Jew way. We are not doing this. You saw the Israelis. They're so nice, and they're happy, and they want to help everyone. And we are not like this. It's a very small group that do such a thing. And I know the mayor himself in Samaria. He's doing a lot to get them out because we don't want this conflict. We want
so they're
to
just
do
like
this
radical.
It's not good for us. You know that they will take this and it will show it to all the Europe and all the countries on the world, and they hate us already. So I think most of us know that this is not the way.
Understood. What would you say to a Palestinian person watching this video?
Learn your kids to live in peace. Learn your kids that we can maybe, I don't know, live together. Don't take your money and put it on terror and such a thing. Do good. And maybe in 20 years there will be here people that can say that we live in peace. Change it. You can change it.
Up until now, I've been hearing from the Israelis, but now I'm going to meet a local Palestinian who is not allowed to enter the Israeli-controlled areas, and that includes Jerusalem, where Al-Aqsa sits, one of the holiest sites in Islam. For many Muslims around the world, visiting Al-Aqsa is a dream, but for Palestinians living just a short distance away, that dream can be blocked by Israel. So now I want to understand what it actually feels like, not from the news, not from a politician, from someone living it every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, this behind me is the separation barrier. The Israelis call it the security fence, the Palestinians call it the apartheid wall. In most places, the concrete wall is about 8 meters high, which is twice the height of the Berlin Wall. It stretches around 700 kilometers, and it's not in a straight line, it's like a snake. The route it follows does not trace the 1967 border between Israel and the West Bank. In many places, it cuts deep into Palestinian territory, separating Palestinian farmers from their land and villages from their water supply. The International Court of Justice in 2004 ruled that the sections built inside the West Bank are illegal under international law. Right now, I'm standing in Bethlehem, the city where, according to the Bible, Jesus Christ was born. Every Christmas, Christians all around the world talk about Bethlehem, but what they don't know is this is the reality of Bethlehem, and there are no tourists here, and there is a big problem here. As you guys can see behind me, there's a lot of graffiti on the wall, some of it done by famous artists, a lot of it done by tourists, and it's really moving to see. And I've just been walking up and down, just looking at it, having the place to myself. I feel extremely safe here. Bethlehem is known to be, it's a safe place. It's hard for me to even fathom living in a place with a wall like this. It feels like I'm in a prison camp. Right now, the Israelis are probably watching me, wondering what is that idiot doing? So we'll give him a little wave. Hello. Shuk Bar.
I am fine. You are with my brother. He's waiting for you there.
Oh, okay.
But I will go with you. Now you can ask any question. You need to ask.
What do you think of the Jews? No, I'm joking.
No, any question. I will give you all
I'm
my
joking,
feeling.
I'm joking,
I'm not scared from anyone.
I'm joking.
Okay, I lose my Instagram in this war, and I need to start from zero now.
Wow.
Lose it for me, yeah.
Well,
11,000
brother, I'm
people.
gonna put your Instagram in the YouTube video, and inshallah, many followers.
Inshallah. It's the first time for you here.
Yeah, a kid.
Inshallah is not last time. Not from Iran war, is from
October.
7 October. Bad 7 October, our life changed. Everything is die. Bethlehem exactly die. Our business is finished, but now we have little bit, 1%, not more, hope this war finish. But you know, we are like Tom and Jerry. I don't know if one day. I am 37 years old. Every day, every year, we tell ourselves maybe next year, maybe next year, maybe next year. And now I am 37 years old and I have 4 children. I tell myself maybe not my generation, maybe my kids, I don't know. But this is like a dream for us to be like you, to have our freedom. But it's difficult.
I'm learning, brother, I'm learning. And this is probably the main thing that I've got out of the whole trip, is that people, the average citizen, civilian, they just want peace. This is obviously an unrealistic thing to say right now, because a lot of things, you know, peace is just such a hard thing to get to right now. But what I do want to say is that everyone loses from this situation. On both sides, everyone loses. I mean, a few people win, but we won't talk about that. But most 99% of people lose, and it's the average citizen that you don't see on the media, don't see on social media. The hotel owner who has to become a taxi driver, the tour guide who has to become a taxi driver, the Bethlehem, a city that thrives off tourism, that lives because of tourism, has no tourists for 2 years. One thing that a lot of the Israelis said is they have like this thing in their head that all people in Gaza and all people in West Bank support Hamas and they're all terrorists. So what would you say to that?
I say something. If you ask, maybe I don't need to go big number. If you ask about like 70% from Palestinian people and 70% from the another side, from the Jewish people, we tell you we like to live in one country, we like to live in peace, we like to share everything together. And the 30% from both sides, they have big hate in heart. Why? Because they lose something with some attack here and here. Maybe some Israelis lose some friend from terrorist attack from Palestinian people, or some Palestinian lose some kids or some from the family from attack from some of them. They have hate, they don't like to share everything together. But in the end of the story, I tell you something, in the end we are human, in the end we are all of us Palestinian people, but everyone have his own idea about how you need to have freedom. Also with my Palestinian government, they don't have any control or any power to have our freedom. Because of that, we wait, not support from America or from Arab country or from Europe country, we wait miracle from God. Miracle happened, it means freedom. Miracle that happened, we live like this until last day in our life.
Do you feel safe talking about this?
Listen, I feel safe. I don't feel safe. I will be honest with you, because from 7 October until now, maybe more 5,000 Palestinian people inside the Israeli jail just for social media and for Facebook, for Instagram, for this thing.
Guys, I just want to quickly pause the video and talk about today's sponsor, which is Holafly eSIM. As you guys may or may not know, I was using Holafly eSIM for the whole time in Israel and Palestine. They cover over 200 destinations around the world, and it just gives you peace of mind when you're traveling, so you can book a taxi, so you can book a hotel, and I was using it, and it's actually imperative to use it if you're in Israel and Palestine, because it's quite a tricky place, as you guys have seen in my videos, to travel around. If you travel a lot like me, you can actually use Holafly plans, which is unlimited data in 160 destinations, and it gives you monthly coverage, so you don't need to keep changing the eSIM when you change countries. They also have a new feature called the Always On feature, which gives you 1 gigabyte of backup data. So I would recommend getting Holafly eSIM. Very quick customer service. Since I started YouTube, I've been using Holafly, and it's just peace of mind. If you want to get Holafly, there's a link in the description below, or you can scan the QR code or the pinned comment, and you get 5% off Holafly or 10% off Holafly plans using the code Harry Jagard, all capitals. It means a lot supporting me. I really appreciate it. Let's carry on with the video. So guys, we've driven outside of Bethlehem to where some of the settlements are, and these are some of the gates that stop Palestinians from driving through, so you can only walk from now on.
This gate, you don't see only one gate. We have almost 1,935, 36 gates. Each village, each city, Israel make gate to make like jail for us to move from city to city, to move from village to village. Yani some Palestinian people, they live in this village area. If they drive to Bethlehem city, example, they need to drive at least 4 or 5 kilometers more, and before they drive only 1 minute to this area. From 7 October this gate is closed. Israel opened this gate in one case, only if they decide to go to our city here or to our village to take some Palestinian to the jail, or if something happened dangerous for them, they open and they go to Bethlehem. And almost they open it every day, but at night they open the military car, they go out and then they close it. And this is one of the settlement. We live here from long time. For me, I don't see anything bad from them. They live together and we live together here. They are peaceful.
These Israelis.
This Israeli settlement, they are peaceful. I see in my eyes they are peaceful because we don't have any attack. We live near each other. But some settlement, no, they are not peaceful, but they are not here. Almost they are in the south, Nablus, Jenin, Ramallah, or also in Hebron. They are not so much safe, the settlers, not all of them. All my finger is not the same. People is like my finger. Some of them good, some Muslim good, some Muslim bad. And the same thing, some Christian, some Jewish. Yeah, this is everywhere. Yeah. In the end, they need to prove for everyone this country is for them. Is not so much good life for them and for us, because they are scared to go outside sometimes, and we are scared to go outside sometimes. And not fair life and not safe life.
So everyone loses.
Yeah, everyone loses. In the end, why I come from outside to build settlement here, and one day I put in my mind, maybe I drive near Palestinian and maybe this Palestinian kill me, maybe this Palestinian attack me. Why you prefer to live in this situation and in this land, and you have the paradises outside? Already you come from paradise to live in the hell. For me, this is not so much good. Yani like country about. We don't have like beaches. We don't have anything here. Why you come here?
So not actually...
From 7 October, the settlement is like in the level 4, you know, very quickly.
Oh, really?
They built it very quickly.
It's rapidly grown since. And what would you say to someone who said that this land was promised to them 3,000 years ago?
They have on Torah. Some of them believe this land for them, for the Jewish people from long time. Some people believe this land for Palestinian from Canaan time and Turkish time, Ottoman time. And me and you, just we follow the news and we follow the history, we follow the books, but who true, Palestinian people or Israeli people, we don't know. But about what they believe 100% this land for them. I don't mean about only Palestine. The plan for them, and you will see in the future, if God give us life, they try to build big Israel. Big Israel mean it start from Palestine and Jordan and Egypt and Syria and Lebanon, and I think some part of Saudi Arabia, I don't know. They try to build the big Israel, and they will do it. They will do it. Why? Because they have support. They have support to do anything. And you speak about if one Palestinian killed one Israeli, it mean terrorist group killed people, I don't know, friendly people. But the 70,000 or 80,000 people there, this is not genocide, and no anyone speak about them. And all of them, they are guilty. All of them, they are Hamas. All of them, they are terrorists. You speak about like at least 25,000 kids between 1 day to 15 years old. I think 6 years old, he's not Hamas. And if he's father Hamas, what the father is not like the son, okay? You kill the family because of the guy.
What's the hardest thing for Palestinians about life in Palestine right
The
now?
hard thing,
Hard-
the difficult
number one,
thing.
yeah.
Number one, when you see someone attack you or take your home or take your sheep or make fire in your car, and you need to watch and you cannot do anything. And I know myself, I can do a lot of things, but I cannot. Seriously, look, I am not John Cena, I am nothing, but promise from man to man, give me 3 or 4 soldiers, but face to face, without gun. I know Palestinian people, they are strong with heart, they are strong with guns. Because of that, I promise you, if we have chance, but no guns, give us face to face, you will see something different. You will, I tell you, we are not Hercules, you know, we are not so much strong, but when you believe in something, you can do it. They believe this land for them, but they take the land with power, with kill, with blood. We believe this land for us, but we make tree, we make kids to have freedom one day. This is what I believe. This is the hard thing I see. This is the hard thing. The hard thing when you see someone do something for you, and you know he's guilty and you are not guilty, and you cannot. That's it. Yeah.
Been invited for lunch, which is very nice of them. Wow, you have a beautiful view. Look at this. This is the Bethlehem region, and masjid right next to their house. So call to prayer must be pretty loud. Wow. Ahlan wa sahlan. كيفك؟ كلام منيح؟ إيه؟ شو اسمك يا خيي؟ يوسف شرفنا حبيبي قلبي. So they've got usually in I think in Palestinian maybe a lot of Islamic houses, this is like a greeting room or like a meeting room, so to speak. We don't really in England you wouldn't really have like this layout. You would usually have it like facing the TV, but I've noticed this is like a very common thing in Muslim houses, is to have like the sofas around the edge of the room. Is very collective, family orientated, and so they have big families as well, so you need a lot more sofas. My family is only 4, and this is very common in England to only have 4, maximum 5 people in the family, and so you sit here and have gatherings, and then we have some Islamic art. So guys, I've already forgotten the name, traditional home cooked Palestinian meal. Wow, this is beef. Put it on here. Wow, it's really, really good. It's got beef in it, and it's got like a tomatoey ragu sauce. Delicious. I'm not sure the vegetable is like green beans, maybe. One thing that I've noticed, which is quite common, is like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only interactions that you ever have with Israelis or Jews are either with IDF or with settlers, and they're not good interactions. They're not particularly pleasant.
No, I think the settlers before 7 October, they are very friendly. We work together. You speak about like 400,000 Palestinians from West Bank. Every day they cross the checkpoint, they go to Israel to work there. Now from 7 October, Israel cancel these people and bring people from China, bring
India.
people from India, Sri Lanka to work. and now the 400,000 you speak about, 300,000 they are not. They are like homeless. They don't have any work, and the problem, my government don't support them with anything.
This is something I didn't know about Palestine. Is just every village has gates which they can just close and open at any point depending on how they feel. Or we're in between Palestinian village and Israeli settlement.
This is Palestinian, all this here Palestinian. The road is Israeli control. Is mixed between area A and its area B is mixed.
Oh, this is area
mixed.
B.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Okay.
Yeah, and we live together, but the control for the road here is Israeli control. I see when I drive in this, I am living here. I know this land for me, and I drive like this, and I see Israeli flag everywhere. They make you angry. You need to come in exactly here in this country exactly. Sometimes the media with one side, sometimes someone he buy the media, or you understand what I mean, corruption or something. Your media is your eyes. I believe one thing, if you need to know these people here, Palestinian people, if we are terrorists or not terrorists, if we are good or not good. The problem for the Jewish people is not with Palestinian people. You know what? Because if you remember the Holocaust, you know the Holocaust?
Mm-hmm.
How many Jewish died in the Holocaust? I think 6 million. 6 million. Who killed the 6 million? Hitler, yeah? Hitler, he's a Palestinian?
No.
He's not Palestinian. Hitler, he's a Muslim?
No.
He's not Muslim. Hitler, he's an Arab? He's not Arab. If Hitler, he do the Holocaust for you, and he killed 6 million people in the Holocaust, why you come here to make the same thing with us? And we don't have any problem with you. We don't kill your people. Okay, this is one. If you say this land for you, okay, the question, the 6 million, you don't speak about small population, you speak about big population. The 6 million die, these people die here in this land, or they die there. If they die there, it means these people living there before. Okay, because of that, this land for you, not for you. This 6 million, these people die there. The Holocaust happened there in Europe, in Germany, and some country. Because of that, where these people they live before? They live there. It's not, they don't live here before. We live here, small community, and when you come to us, everyone tell you you are welcome. You can stay together. You are my neighbor. I am your neighbor. And now because you have big control, you start to do all this with us, to remove us from the map, and this is not fair life. If I need to speak, I don't finish from 100 years about my feeling. I hope if I am learning English good to tell
No,
you
it's
feeling. I hope
you've conveyed yourself very well.
I need you to send our message from all the Palestinian people to say for your people, we are human. We need to have good life. We need to have freedom, and not all of us terrorists. And if some group, like example there in Gaza, do this attack, don't look for all the community we are terrorists. We are good people. We are friendly, but how I need to prove this for you? Come to stay here 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and then walk by yourself in each meter here. Walk by yourself alone. If anyone touch you, and then you can't say we are terrorists.
We are right next to the separation wall. This right here is a Banksy painting. Banksy is a famous artist from the UK, and they've also got a sentence here: it is not those who can inflict the most, but those that can suffer the most will prevail.
Thank you. Just Say No. All right. Thank you for joining me on Just Say No and the Electronic Intifada. Have a good evening. Thank you.
He's all of 31 and he's only 17. He's been a soldier for 1,000 years. He's a Catholic.